People ask me questions about squash all the time. Not the sport, I don't know how to play, but the fruitable. I just made that up. I think it's a fruit because it has seeds, right? By definition, if it has seeds, it's a fruit. I think it's a fruit. We're gonna talk about squashes. How to clean them, how to prepare them, how to cook them, what you can use them for. So let's do it. This is a butternut squash. First, you're gonna decide what you wanna do with it, whether you're gonna make a soup out of it or you're gonna roast it off in the oven as like a vegetable medley, because that's gonna affect how you cut and clean it. So we're gonna do both and show you both. So first, you start by cutting the ends off. Once again, we know knife over here, hand down. Cut the end off that guy. The end off that guy. Bye-bye now. Gourds have seeds inside. You can actually see over here, it's a little softer. That's where the middle is gonna be, where the seeds are. So I usually cut it in half. I'm gonna cut it into pieces and clean those seeds out. So let's do that anyway. I got plenty of squash. So we cut that guy in half. We're gonna cut him in half again. Look at that, look at all those beautiful seeds. This side does not have any seeds. So you could, if you're gonna use it for a puree or to make soup or just, it's pretty easy to do this. You could leave it just like this or leave it whole like we had it and just slice it completely long ways. So when you open it, it's like that. It's like a puzzle, oh my God. And you just put a little olive oil, maybe some brown sugar, salt, pepper, and put it on a sheet tray. Do those like that. We'll show you how to clean out the seeds. So to clean out the seeds, I get a spoon that's like a nice size, kind of firm. I'm gonna go near the edge of the meat and give it a good stabberoo. And then I just kinda, one scoop. One scoop. Do it again. So you got this whole guy, spoon in, and kind of, like you're getting a scoop of ice cream out of a really cold gallon. You really gotta get in there, you know? It's not that difficult. And once again, you can just rub some olive oil on this, salt, pepper, if you want some brown sugar or maple, and just throw it on a sheet tray and throw it in the oven. Or we can cut it up into cubes, and I'll show you how to do that. You can save the seeds if you want. And roast them off in the oven. It's just put all the pulp and everything in a bowl of water and just kind of separate the seeds by hand in the bowl. Once you separate them, dry them off, season them. Season them up, put them on a sheet tray. Don't forget olive oil or something. And 325 for about 20 minutes to get those seeds going. So if I have the skin on, I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil. A little bit of olive oil on those guys. Some salt. A little bit of pepper, a lot of bit of pepper. There's a couple different seasonings you could go for. Some people like to do like a cinnamon, brown sugar kind of thing. Some people like a little spice. Sometimes you like sweet and spice. So we'll do like a little chili on this guy. Old school chicken. Put some sage on this one. You know, mix it up. So one I just left simple with salt and pepper. This guy has some brown sugar and some cinnamon on it. This one over here, I'm gonna put a little bit of maple with that chili. A lot of maple. I got some sage on there, and then just for the hell of it, I'm gonna throw some rosemary sprigs on the tray. And I would just throw this tray into the oven. You could do a whole tray of all of them. You could mix it up just so you can try different things. Throw it in the oven, 400 degrees, give it about 45 minutes to an hour for this guy. Other ways to do squash. If I'm gonna cut it into cubes, I like to peel the whole outside first. I do sometimes get like a weird film on my hands. Some people cut it in half and then peel it. It's completely up to you. For handling purposes, maybe cut it first. Cut it now. Just take your peeler and just peel it like a potato. Super easy. Take the time to peel this guy. You end up with your end product of something like this. I'll show you how we get there. He's gone forever. Slippery bastard. That's one of the reasons why I like to leave it whole, because I'll like pin it down to the tray and do half at a time. It's not that bad. Work on your grips. Into somebody's throat. Just hold on really tight. Kill him, kill. I usually like to get a little bit of that greener, thick outside off, like a cantaloupe, you know, it's a little more bitter. All right. Cut it in half like we did earlier, but this time there's no skin. And then I'm just gonna cut them again. Pick whichever side's the bigger side, butt down, slice it down. And then you would just cut long strips, and you can either leave them in long strips and roast them off like that and make like fries, roasted fries or some shit out of them, or just like we do everything else, just chop them up into little cubes. Look at that, look at that. And then I would just put them in a bowl, olive oil, salt, pepper, and whatever seasonings you chose from what we played with earlier. Throw some garlic on there and then throw that in the oven. Once again, 400 degrees. Smaller cubes are gonna be about 30 minutes to an hour, while the halves are gonna be more like an hour, and just check on them. That's squash. We'll show you the end product of some things once all this stuff comes out of the oven. Let's go see. So we talked about putting the halves skin on a tray. You can do skin side up, skin side down, up to you. You can take the cubes and toss them in a seasoning and put them on a sheet tray. Once again, both of those are 400 for about 30 minutes to an hour. Kind of just play it by ear. Or another way you can go, which is also a pretty easy way, and a good way I like doing things fast. You don't really have to watch it as much. Put your squash on a piece of foil. A couple pieces of garlic. Throw those guys on there. You could put some onions on there if you want. You could do rosemary. We'll throw some salt, a little bit of pepper, a little olive oil. On things like this, I like to put just a splash of maple syrup, just so you get, like, every once in a while you get a nice little sweet taste here and there. It's not coated on everything. You could put brown sugar instead of maple if you wanted, or honey. Put a little chili flake on there. And then I'm just gonna wrap it up. Now just take this guy and throw it into the oven right on the rack. Give it about 30 minutes till it's done. If you're gonna do it on the grill or right in the fire, like a coal fire, you could take it and double wrap it and throw it right in there. And that comes out, and when that comes out, it looks, I did one where I did the roasted squash with some Brussels sprout leaves. I did a little bit of that maple, salt, pepper, olive oil, and some toasted pumpkin seeds in there, as well as some little bits of red onion. Super easy. And literally just chop everything up, throw it in the foil pack, throw it in the oven or on the grill, and it's ready in about half an hour, just like this. Jealous? You want some? After we roast our squash on a tray and it comes out, either halved, I scoop it out of the skin, or I've roasted it in pieces on the tray. I did a butternut squash soup that I took pieces cut like this. I took apples and in a big bowl, and I mixed it with apple cider vinegar, a little bit of brown sugar, salt, pepper, roasted off in the oven, and then added it to a stock pot where I'd been sweating garlic and onions, and then let that cook in some chicken stock and water for a little while. You could do vegetable broth or just water if you want. And then I blended everything up together and I got a beautiful butternut squash soup. You can season it however you like. It's pretty easy. Just popped everything on a sheet tray, 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. Tossed in the stock pot with my sweated garlic and onions with the blender. And that was about it. Super easy, super tasty. We will have some skills episodes coming up for you on cooking. Oh, on cooking, interesting. Some skills episodes coming up for you on like sweating garlic and onions, how to actually like build those layers of flavors and things like that in your cooking, and the order and process of how you should actually add things to the pan and cook. That's it. Get squashing.